I was listening to my friend Matan, and I asked myself, while I was listening to you, what would you do, Matan, if you would have been at the position that Ben Gurion was in 1948, when the Arab population inside the land of Israel, not the state of Israel yet, but before the declaration of independence, started a war, and it was a bit bigger than the Jews. The amount of the Arabs was a little bit bigger than the Jews, and 5 Arab countries around us, serious armies with with tanks and airplanes, which we did not have. And then he gets a call from Washington, and he hears that if he is going to declare an independent state, not only that America will not be with him, with a new-born Jewish state, but there'll be an embargo of an American weapon if he will. So, at that situation, according to what I just heard from you, Matan, I have no doubt that the decision should have been not to declare an independent Jewish state and wait another 2,000 years, maybe, when time will be ready for it. And Ben Gurion did declare, and because of that, we have a Jewish state. And we have this discussion now. What did he understood that we don't? Now, I'm sure that we all realize that Israel is much stronger today, even though I'm sure everything you said is 100% right and correct, technically. What did we have then that we don't have today? The answer is vision. What did Ben Gurion miss? What was the calculation that he forgot? I mean, that was crazy. The Arabs were ready to, and they said openly, we're going to finish what Hitler, Yimach Shmo, did not, just 3 years before. We're going to kill the 600,000 Jews here. We're going to finish the job. And they meant to what they said. So what was going on here? Was he crazy? The answer is he had a vision. He had a vision. And when you have the vision, you have the ability to walk into that fog where you don't have all the answers, with a strong feeling that on the other side, you'll find the answer. Connect yourself to the history, to the story of your people. Understand the historical situation. And I'm telling you, Matan, that we're facing now the same situation, and it seems like not everybody understands it. We're facing now the second independent war of Israel, nothing less than that. I think at the 3rd month of the war, it never started, by the way, I think that what we call a war now never started, okay? But let's call it the war, to know what we're talking about. A non-war that started on the 7th of October. So at the 3rd month of that war, a very good friend of mine, Professor Weissman, called me. A very, very serious, educated professor, Yair Weissman, his name is. And he told me, he sent me calculations that he did. And he said, you know, Moshe, Israel can destroy the whole Gaza Strip in 11 days just with the bulldozers that we have there now. No bombs, no shells, no TNT, no dynamites, just with the bulldozers. And I looked at his calculation, and he's very serious. He's very serious. And I published it on my Facebook page. So one of the commanders of the engineering forces in Gaza called me, and I'm a commander in the engineering forces also, so I knew what he's talking about. He said, your professor was wrong. Why he was wrong? He was not put into account few details that it'll take longer. So I told him, okay, so how long will it take to destroy, to flat all Gaza, just with the bulldozers that the IDF has right now? How long it's going to take? So he figured it out. He was also very serious. And he said it's going to take 30 days. So I told him, you know what? You got it. Take 30 days. Matan, with all due respect, the problem is not the bombs, it's not the shells, it's not the physical capability. No one will convince me that an army, which was about a quarter of what we have today in 1967, that took over not only the Gaza Strip, but the Gaza Strip, the Sinai Desert, Judea and Samaria, Jerusalem, the Golan Heights, in 6 days, against real armies, cannot win the war against a terror organization, Hamas, in 9 months. The only reason it is not happening is not the capability, the physical capability. We are much stronger, they are much weaker. That is not the problem. The problem is in the spirit. We don't want to win. We don't want to win. Why we don't want to win? Because winning means the end of the Oslo concepts. That's what it means. Winning means taking over Gaza. Winning means rebuild Gush Katif. Thinking totally out of the box of Oslo again. And all the leadership of Israel today, and definitely, and I'm not talking only about the political leadership, I'm talking about the army leadership, still think through the concepts of Oslo. The only thing that got through their minds at the 7th of October and at the 8th of October is how to go back to the 6th of October and the concepts of Oslo. It took 3 weeks for the government, together with the army, to decide what is going to be the goal of the war. What's the definition of victory? Such a horrors. Just, I mean, with a challenge like that, with a bomb like that blew in your face, and you don't know what the goal should be. But that wasn't the problem. What they had to think about for 3 weeks was, how do we go back to the frame to the concept of Oslo? So it's going to be eliminate Hamas, but not fighting Gaza, and of course you cannot win this way, and the war never ends, and it will never will. And the meaning of not winning the war in Gaza immediately is that we became the biggest joke in the Middle East and in the world. They say that in the Middle East, you either sitting down with everybody to have the meal, or you are the part of the menu. Well, we decided to be the menu for all the jungle around us. And we have to fix it. And we have to understand that if we don't want the coming generation to keep on paying the price of the same mistakes that we did 30 years ago in Oslo, we have to fix our mistakes. I'll tell you something personally. I founded 30 years ago a movement named Zurtzenu. Some of you may remember. That movement tried to stop the Oslo process from happening. We blocked the whole country. We brought the concept of civil disobedience to Israel. I was charged for sedition. I'm very proud of it. I hanged it on the wall. You can come to my house and see it. But the bottom line is, we failed. We did not stop Oslo. And they did bring these terrorists, these PLO terrorists to Gaza and gave them the land. And later on, at the disengagement plan, gave them more land. And these concepts of Oslo started poisoning the entire society, because it was much more than just giving the land to some terrorists. It has much wider, much wider concepts came with it. And because I failed in stopping Oslo, the Oslo process, my first grandson, Yair Hashem Yikom Damo, paid the price. I was not able to save my grandson that was born 10 years later. Because who did he fight against? Against these terrorists that we brought here. And I'm not willing to roll the same problem to the next generation. So the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, is that we have to win that war and erase this concept of Oslo and understand that the land of Israel belongs to the Jews, only to the people of Israel. From the river to the sea, yes, exactly, from the river to the sea. And they came with a plan of exactly how to do it demographically, and there's answers to all the questions, believe me. There's no problem, not demographic problem, not economical problem, not military problem, not problem with the United States. During the first year of Trump administration, we could build Bet HaMikdash if he wanted. And I know it from his own people. I'm not making it up. But we didn't want. Our prime minister was not ready to accept the present that we just got. We forgot what our dream is. We are afraid to dream our own dream, the dream of our fathers and for 2,000 years. ותחזינה עינינו בשובך לציון. So we have to win that war now. We have to create a new layer of leadership that dream that has the right vision. Because God will give us another opportunities. The question is, are we going to throw these opportunities again? Somewhere along the way, we're going to get new opportunities. And the 7th of October was an opportunity. Besides the horrors, it was an opportunity to throw away Oslo, to hug again our own land, to rebuild Gush Katif, to start again. But we did not have the right conscience. That was the problem, the conscience, the view, the vision. That is the reason that we're not winning. If you want to win, if you really, really want to win, you don't need a lot of bombs. 11 days, 30 days. If you use what you have besides bulldozers, maybe you can do it in a shorter while. The reason is not that we don't have the dynamite. It's simply we don't want to liberate our land. That is the reason we do not want to win. If we will have the right leadership that will look straight to the eyes of this new generation here, the generation of heroes that we never had before, and share this vision with them, they will win again in 6 days. Thank you.